Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another episode of Bugrock of the Week. Mojang has been busy fixing tons of bugs before the release of 1.18, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 27 of the most recent ones regarding world generation, structure generation, mob drops, loot, placing of blocks, graphics, basically you name it, they've been fixing things here and there and everywhere, and they have been busy bees indeed. So without further ado, let's just get into the bug fixes. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Also, if you're not aware, we have an official release date for the Caves and Cliffs update. We're going to be getting 1.18 on November 30th, and that is very, very close. So 1.18 is actually already out the door. Mojang isn't really going to be doing anything more to it. Java Edition is still getting a couple of bug fixes here and there, but the Bedrock team is already working on 1.18.1, basically. Probably the biggest issue that has been fixed in these recent betas is the fact that certain chunks in your world, when you upgrade from 1.17 to 1.18, could be completely deleted and avoided. This bug has been fixed, so you should no longer see this happen, and that is a good thing, because this is one of the worst things that can happen to your survival worlds. If you're a fan of Nether ambiance, then you'll be happy to hear about this bug fix. Mojang has made it so that all of the Nether music once again plays in the Nether. Previously, certain tracks would not get played, but now as you're exploring, you can hear all of the lovely Nether music, and it's honestly some of my favorite in all of Minecraft. There's been two bug fixes with leaves. First of all, leaves with partial blocks above them, such as fences, walls, or trapdoors, will no longer act as if they are completely surrounded and turn opaque. So, as you can see, when you place a leaf above another one and it's surrounded on all sides, it's going to turn basically completely solid, and that was happening even with things like slabs. So that bug has been fixed, and there's also been another bug fix where the blocks below a leaf would become transparent, allowing for an X-ray glitch. It was a pretty rare thing to have happen, but that X-ray has also been removed as well. If you've seen this one happen in your worlds, then you'll know how annoying it is, but sometimes double chests could become broken in two, just like this, and then the items inside of them would be kind of stuck and bugged out, and you'd have to actually like break the chest to get the items out of it. That bug has now been fixed and no longer should happen. They've also added a new world upgrade menu when upgrading worlds from 1.17 to 1.18, and as you can see, we have ourselves a new menu. It is animated, and it's also pretty cool. The deep warm ocean biome has once again been removed from Bedrock Edition. There's a little bit of back and forth on whether this one should be removed, and then it got added back, and now it's been removed again on Bedrock and Java Edition. But basically, it's kind of a pointless biome that has been replaced by some of the world generation features of 1.18. So, like a bunch of other biome variants, it no longer needs to exist and thus has been removed. Like many things in 1.18, Mojang is trying to optimize it so that it runs better on a variety of different devices, and they've just done that for chunk loading on some devices as well. We don't really have many more specifics than that, but you should see chunks load a little bit faster in 1.18 compared to the previous betas. I mentioned this in a previous Bugrock as well, but now it has been fixed, so you should no longer see random bits of leaves, water, lava, or just random bits of terrain floating on chunk borders around your world. This would happen when you upgrade from 1.17 to 1.18. It's a really strange bug, but it's no longer an issue. So those are all the bugs that will be fixed for the main 1.18 release. However, Mojang has also been working on the 1.18 hot fixes as well. So everything I'm about to tell you will be included in like 1.18.1 or something like that. The really important issue with mob spawners randomly breaking and stop summoning mobs has now been fixed. So if you have any mob spawners in 1.17 or 1.18 that aren't working, just wait for this bug fix and they should be working properly, which is a very good thing. There's been a slight nerf or update to the Frostwalker enchantment. This stuff will no longer be able to freeze more than 8 blocks away from the player, and they did this because it was kind of lagging out servers and making them unresponsive. Also, I don't know if this is new or not, but you can now run jump with Frostwalker and you won't fall into the ocean. I've been wanting this for years. This is like the main reason why I don't use Frostwalker. And like, all of the other reasons. You know what they should do? They should make it so that if you're in a boat with Frostwalker, it freezes all the water underneath you, so you can basically make an ice highway without, like, having to put down any of the ice. It would be pretty great if they did it right. There's been a small bug fix to the ruined portals. Whenever these things spawn under a swamp biome or an ocean biome, they will no longer be waterlogged. Previously, you could find these things underground and they would be completely full of water, but, you know, they were in like a dry cave or something, so that bug will no longer happen. There's been another bug fix where farmer villagers could pick up more than 8 stacks of items, and of course, the villager's inventory is only 8 slots, so we can fill this guy up with exactly 8 stacks of items, and then if we throw any more things on the ground, he will just kind of leave them there forever, and that is how it should be. So now our villager crop farms that use farmer villagers should work properly and not have any issues with their inventories, and that is a very good thing. Village crop farms are super overpowered, and I love them a lot. A very good thing for all of us creative users, summoning TNT with a TNT turned off will no longer allow it to explode. Previously, this stuff would explode no matter what, even if you have turned TNT off. The slightly annoying bug where copper would not oxidize in the nether has also been fixed as well, so if we up the random tick speed to 1000, you can see that this copper will indeed start oxidizing. Overall, this is a really good bug fix. It allows us to build with copper in the nether and actually have it oxidize properly. It also means that you can't really cheat the system by having unwaxed copper in the nether. A bug that's pretty popular with a certain crowd of people has been fixed, so now the player can no longer be damaged by their own armor, such as by thorns. So if we shoot ourselves with an arrow, you'll see that we're only going to take a little bit of damage instead of like basically instantly dying from that thorns armor, which is a very good bug fix, and I'm glad that this one has been speedily removed. I've been exploring around this world quite a bit, and it appears that this bug fix is true. So if there's a water block next to an edge, it should now flow down that edge properly, and in general just flow in the correct way. There's basically water all over this place, and all the water that's near an edge is indeed flowing, so I would consider this one fully fixed. The bug where you can basically place whatever you want on top of a lightning rod has been removed, so you can't put fire or candles or redstone or doors or comparators or really anything on these that you shouldn't be able to. Previously, you could put like literally anything, and it was actually quite the fun little bug. For you creative types, you can still place down a block, put a candle on that, remove the block, and then put your lightning rod underneath that if you want to get your candles on top of a lightning rod. And of course, you can do that upside down as well, and that is just how you do that. Speaking of candles, you can now place these things in the middle of walls, and the middle of the little wall that bumps up will be a square shape. Previously, if you put a candle on there, it would be the full-on rectangle shape, and that was a little bit ugly. The pretty fun bug where you could have various different amethyst clusters floating mid-air has been removed. So how this would work is if there was a block touching the tip of the crystal, you could remove the support block and it wouldn't pop off. But as you can tell, that has now been removed, so we can't have any fun with our clusters. I mean, we kinda can. They're still fun, but we can't have cursed fun. There's been some changes to the big drip leaf placement. You can now only place it on these 8 different blocks. Previously, it could be placed on like just about anything, and it was a little bit silly, but now it's been refined a lot more to only be placeable on these natural blocks, mostly the dirts. They've also corrected the placement of the pointed dripstone, so now you can no longer have any cursed placements of it, such as hanging from like a lightning rod, or on the underside of candles, or on just general places that it shouldn't be. So now you need a flat surface like the underside of a slab, or a piece of glass, or pretty much any solid block you can place it on, but it's gotta be a solid flat surface, and I don't think it works with leaves or anything like that. The falling animation for all gravity blocks has been updated, so instead of it being super choppy and weird, it's now really smooth and just pretty nice looking, actually. Previously, they would kind of like teleport back up and down a little bit and just look very strange, but now it's actually super smooth. I like it a lot. They've corrected mob spawning so that any villagers, foxes, or rabbits that respawn in the snowy or jagged peaks of the mountains will now be the correct snowy variety. So as you can see, all these guys are the actual snowy variety, including the villagers, which is pretty cool. Goats should also spawn in the snowy and jagged peaks biomes as well. However, I've been flying around for a while and I have not seen any goats. I've only seen the little snowy rabbits. So I don't know if I'm just unlucky or if this bug is still around, but hopefully we'll see goats up here on these beautiful mountaintops. We have another change to Deep Slate generation. Now it will once again generate above Y0. So previously they removed it and made it so that it was only at Y0 and below, but that was a very harsh transition. It was basically all stone and then all Deep Slate, and that didn't look very good. So now there's going to be little bits of Deep Slate generating all the way up to around about Y level 8, helping that transition and make it so that it's a lot finer of a process going down into the deeper layers of the world. So now we will once again get Deep Slate above 0, meaning that Y layer 0 mining isn't really going to be that good. So you'll probably want to be mining around Y level 8, I guess, if you want to avoid all the Deep Slate. Deep Slate copper ore is once again available in the world and generates naturally, including in the large dripstone caves too. So of course, there are a lot more bug fixes than what I've showed in today's video, but these are all the ones that I felt were important and worth highlighting. So if you want to learn more about the updates, of course, all the changelogs are linked down below. And while you're down below the video, consider leaving a like or possibly subscribing if you're new here. That way you don't miss future episodes of Bugrock of the Week. But otherwise, thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully you have enjoyed my 1.18 beta coverage up until this point. I'm still going to be making more beta videos when we get them releasing, so stay tuned for all of those. But otherwise, I'll see you guys down in the comment section, and in the next one, thank you ever so much for watching, and then there was silence.